What if I told you one of the NBA's most feared players became a silent assassin because of a real assassination? This is the untold story of how a single phone call changed Kawhi Leonard forever, and why his father's killer is still walking free. You know Kawhi Leonard as the Claw, the emotionless robot who shows up in the biggest moments and destroys opponents without saying a word. But there's a dark reason why he keeps everything locked inside. And it all started with the worst phone call of his life. Back on January 18, 2008, Kawhi was just a 16-year-old high school junior getting ready for what should have been one of the biggest nights of his basketball career. His team was set to play in front of thousands at the legendary Pauley Pavilion. But 24 hours before the game, Kawhi's world shattered. His father, Mark Leonard, was a hard-working man who had built his car wash business from the ground up in Compton. He was more than just Kawhi's dad. He was his biggest supporter, the man who never missed a game, and the person who taught him that hard work pays off. That Friday evening, Mark was closing up when several men approached him. An earlier confrontation had put Mark in danger, and shortly after, masked gunmen opened fire, shooting over 30 times. 10 bullets found their mark. Mark Leonard, just 43 years old, was pronounced dead at the hospital. Meanwhile, Kawhi was driving with his mom and uncle when his sister called with the devastating news. The 16-year-old who had spoken to his father hours earlier was told his dad had been murdered. Most teenagers would have collapsed, but Kawhi insisted on playing the next night. In front of 16,000 people, with cameras rolling, Kawhi scored 17 points. His team lost, but that night was about more than basketball. After the game, the stoic teenager finally broke down, crying into his mother's arms. What makes this story even more chilling? Mark Leonard's murder remains unsolved to this day. His killer is still out there. And months later, while Kawhi's stepmother was pregnant, she was forced to flee when a man with an AK-47 appeared at the car wash. Another terrifying moment in a case that has never found justice. This tragedy didn't just take Kawhi's father. It created the player we know today. The quiet demeanor, the lockdown emotions, the laser focus, it all traces back to that night. Kawhi learned to compartmentalize, to channel his pain into greatness. That's why he hits the biggest shots without emotion. That's why opponents fear him. From tragedy to triumph, Kawhi Leonard rose to become a two-time NBA champion, a two-time Finals MVP, and one of the most dominant players in NBA history. But he carries the weight of unsolved tragedy, locked away like everything else inside. If you have any information about Mark Leonard's murder, please contact the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Justice must be served. Next time you watch Kawhi Leonard play, remember, behind that silent killer mentality is a man who turned heartbreak into history. If this story gave you chills, hit like and subscribe for more untold NBA stories. Comment below on what other dark NBA secrets you want to uncover next. Thanks for watching.